There we go. Okay, so I'm starting out my reviews with 5 women wearing the same dress, which is the show I'm actually currently directing. I know. I'm copping out. But you would be too, because this has been taking up my entire life. Unfortunately, I don't have the actual playbill. One of my designers or somebody has mine, but I have the entire script in my handy dandy director's book. 5 Women is a wonderful show about 5 women who are bridesmaids in this woman's wedding. The whole play takes place during the reception, so they're all hiding upstairs in the sister of the bride's room. In a way, this is your classic odd couple scenario. You've got the outrageous lesbian, the rebellious younger sister, the very attractive woman, the very religious cousin, and a character who's basically about to go off her rocker at any moment. In the play, they come to realize that none of them actually really care about the bride, and so it's very fascinating to them that all of them would be asked to be in her wedding. There's a lot of different scenarios that come up, including bringing up old memories from the past, as well as a bit of a religious debate. But what I personally love about this play is it is about 5 women who come together in a situation that they really had no control over, and in the end find people that they could probably be friends with for the rest of their life. Now, even though I love this play, there are definitely some things about it that are different. Alan Ball, who also wrote American Beauty, is the playwright of this play that has 5 women and only 1 dude in it, and the dude doesn't even show up until the last 5 pages. Now, I'm not saying that Alan doesn't understand women. In fact, that's one of my positives about this script. I think that it really captures women as people and not as frivolous beings that, you know, talk about things that no one cares about. There are actually quite a few very serious issues that are discussed, including the fact that there's a lesbian and a religious woman in the same room. The play talks about minors having sex and, unfortunately, rape. And then, of course, you're also dealing with a Bible thumper who's constantly around women who are screaming curse words. Overall, I love the naturalism of it, because between 5 women who have very different personalities, everything clashes and yet at the same time works together to really have a fun play. But I am going to talk about the things that I don't like about the play as well. Unfortunately, with all the little problems and things that are discussed, things tend to go very quickly. So you'll have a transition where somebody's very angry and then the next second they're supposed to be happy. Now, of course, my job as a director is to take those lines and say, how can we make this work? It's a pain in the butt though, because there's at least 6 instances where I don't think the playwright was thinking quite through what people are feeling and just what they were saying. For instance, it's really difficult to go from a line where you're talking about rape to, you should throw up. It feels totally primal. That's not the exact line, but it's something like that. The play also is very strangely timed. For instance, the first act is only about 30 pages, which roughly translates to about 30 minutes in actual play time. The second act, though, goes for almost 45 minutes to an hour. Now, typically, play speaking, it's supposed to be the other way around. Audiences want to watch the majority of the show before intermission, and then the rest of the show just finishes. Not to mention, I really don't think the addition of the male character was necessary. And I'm not trying to be a feminist by saying that, but the male character comes in and for the last about 4 pages talks to who I would consider to be the main female. And they talk back and forth for a long time, and a lot of it's about women in control of the situation and how men should feel. And I'm not saying that's a bad topic to discuss, but the climax of the show is when they're talking about the rape of the younger sister, even though the sister doesn't consider it to be a rape. But after going from something that's so serious and taking it down to a relationship, a little bit of, romantic comedy for the last 5 pages, to me sometimes it just doesn't feel right. And reading the play, you can definitely feel that. And I'm just talking from a reading the play stance, not even a watching it stance. I don't know. I guess if I was Alan Ball, I would have just cut out the guy and found a way to end the show a bit better. That being said, I absolutely adore the last scene. The last scene has all the girls come together and they take a picture on the bed. And that's such a girl thing to do, but at the same time, it's such a great representation of these 5 very different people coming together and being able to handle each other and deal with each other and even like each other in the end. So even though I definitely have my problems with the script, I still adore this show. Not to mention, it's a great chance to get more women on the stage. And besides, those little challenges are just things that I get to deal with as a director. And if you're in the Valparaiso area, come and see the show on Friday and Saturday, April 11th and 12th, and you can make your own judgments to see whether or not I did a good job of that. And that's it for Bookworm Bilbiophiles from me this week. Tune in next week for my next video, and be sure to check out my channels. Links are down below. Have a great day, and be sure to keep reading.